You know, when runners train, they don't argue with the track. They don't stop every lap to ask, am I doing this right? Should I go faster? Should I quit? No, they run the lap. The track holds the plan. And fasting works exactly the same way, especially right here, right now, at 33 hours, that's where we are, at 33 hours in. This is the messy middle. The excitement has started, that we started with yesterday, is kind of wearing off. The finish line is at 72 hours, which is where we're heading. And it's not here yet. And this is the point where motivation alone won't carry you. But that's okay, because fasting doesn't depend on hype. It depends on process. And process is what will carry you across the line. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. Welcome back to another episode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living, that's right, we're living limitless lives. Welcome wherever you're coming from, wherever you're watching from, on any of the different platforms. We are welcoming you right here because we're excited that you're here. If you're new to me, go ahead and put new in the comments because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music. And let you know that I'm excited and I'm happy that you are here. If you do have a question as we go through the episode, go through the show tonight, go ahead and drop that in the comments, drop that so that we will be able to get to that and answer those questions for you. Got some fun things that we're going to do right now. We're going to look at my monitors, which are off to my side. I've got them right here. I got my Dexcom Clarity, which is right below, that we'll take a look at. And we will talk about, just our topic. One of the things that I am excited about is our new series that has just launched, our Move campaign. So let's go ahead and let's look at that promo right now. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started. All right. Yes, so very excited about our new series that launched just a couple of days ago, and I am well. I'm just having fun. Let me just say it that way. I'm having fun with it, and I trust that you are getting benefit. If you've not joined us yet, go ahead and do that as we continue working on our health. Just a point, if you go to our YouTube channel, you will see that we've made some changes, and you've heard me say that over and over because I want you to get that we've made some practical changes there to the channel. When you get there, there should be two playlists that you will see. One is called Start Here, Reverse Diabetes, and Reclaim Your Health with Dr. Dwain Woode. And that is a list of videos that we've done that outlines the pathway that we're on. The platform that we're on outlines the pillars of the conversations that we've had that will walk you through reclaiming your health. And then down below that, you'll see this week's videos. And this is intended to be a list of videos that are there. If you want to know what we're talking about this week, if you want to know what the discussions are for this week, that is where you will find those in this week's video. So go ahead and head over there and get started. So if you're pointing people to the channel, that's where you want them to go, to the Start Here playlist as we continue moving through this space of being healthy, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's been going on with blood sugars. I am now 33 hours into this week's fast. If you've joined us, and so let me just do this really quickly. If you joined us, if you fasted with us yesterday into today, congratulations. Let me give you a hand clap. All right, if you are ending If you ended your fast with us today as we did our live, kudos to you. Congratulations for taking the opportunity to do something for your health, to trust yourself, to know that you can do what you need to do, and you are committed to doing what you need to do to be healthy. If you started the fast today and you are moving into tomorrow for that 24-hour period, kudos to you as well. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you as well have taken the time and have decided that you're going to do what you need to do for health. And then, of course, those of you who are going with us through the final day, the final third of this, kudos, kudos, kudos. So my hats go off to all of you. Hand claps to everybody. Let me go ahead and give just some music to say that I'm excited for where you find yourself right now. We've got a lot of fun things going on the channel, a lot of fun things going on in the community, so make sure you jump in. Now, here right at the beginning, I want to make a plug, and I want to say something to you, that the channel is designed so that when you show up, you can plug in to the various aspects of what we do, right? So we've got the fasting that we're doing. We've got the move campaign that we're doing. We've got the mindset things that we're doing here on the show as we continue talking on our platform show. For those of you who are weekenders, we've got the weekend shows that come on, the video from the vault, and This Week in Review. So lots of different things that you can, wherever you are, whatever schedule you're on, you can jump in, you can plug in and become a part of that, right? So we've got the move in the morning, we've got the check-ins that go on in the midday, we've got the check-ins or the pop-ups in the midday, we've got the check-ins at night. So lots of different things that are happening, and the way to plug in, the way to follow is for you to get there, get to the start list, right? That start playlist that I talked about, and then on a daily basis, you'll see those videos pop up in the this week's videos so you can follow right along with us, okay? So this is designed to be kind of plug and play. So you just come, you show up, you don't have to recreate, just get in there and find where you are along that path and jump in, right? Now the pathway that we're on is a pathway that is going to take you along your journey, take you from where you are and move you along the path. So it doesn't matter where you're jumping in, because it is a process that we're on. And as we jump into our new series that's about to start, the Blueprint series, you want to make sure that you're here. That starts on Monday, right? That also is going to be a pathway. If you're here for the first time, go ahead and start watching those videos, but join us on Monday for the flagship show as we do our blueprints. And we'll talk more about that as we go. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at blood sugars right now. And what you're seeing right now, this is my Freestyle Libre. Let me do one thing here really quickly. This is my Freestyle Libre meter that you're looking at right now. And this is saying that my blood sugar right now is 58. And you see that right there. So 58. If you scroll down close to the middle right here, or lower third, you'll see my blood sugar. That's my blood sugar graph. And you see for most of the day, it was in the white, and that's that white squiggly line that you see. And that means that it was above 70. And then closer to the end of the day, you saw it drop below became red, and that's saying that my blood sugar dropped below 70. Okay, and so of course right now you see that it's 58. If I go to the reports, and let's look at this one. So time in range, and we're looking at time in range for the last 7 days, and I'm in range 80% of the time. You'll see that number right there. And then down below you see 20%, and that's usually when I'm fasting. So when I'm fasting, blood sugar continues to drop. And so between the 80% in range and the 20%, you'll see there that equals 100. Okay, so 100%. And so we're either in range or we're low. And the lows are the ones that typically happen when I'm fasting. But when I'm not fasting, we don't get lows. Okay? And then now if I look at the 90-day average, I'm in target 85% of the time, and then 15% of the time I'm in the low range. Going now and looking at my average, and you see right up in this line right here, that's my average, 85 for the last 7 days, and then it breaks it out into the different days or different times of the day as we, and you see that there down at the bottom. And then looking at 90-day average, 88 is what the average is, and then once again breaking it out into different times of the day. All right, let's get out for that one, and let's go over and let's see what the Dexcom is saying. And right now, let's see. So looks like something is turned off. Okay, let me take a look at that really quickly. I was doing some videoing with my phone, so it looks like we've used up some of our space. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of that. But the Dexcom right now is saying that my blood sugar is in the 80s. Okay, so about 30 points higher than what the 30 points higher than what the Libre is saying. And as you know, the Libre tends to be higher than the Dexcom. Okay, so the Libre tends to be higher than the Dexcom, and so that's what we're seeing there. Let me make one change here, guys. All right, so let's get rid of that. All right. Okay. All right, so let's get back over and let's see if that works now. No, that still doesn't work. So my app is stopped. So I'm going to exit app. Okay. So right now we're going to be stuck with the Libre. Which is okay because we have good numbers there. So here we are. Okay, so that's the Libre, and let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's going on with the Keto Mojo and with the Contour. All right, so let's hop over here, and so Keto Mojo, Contour. Let's go ahead and get a test strip for this is brown one for blood sugar, and then here is one for ketones. We've got strips for ketones for the Contour. And then we have the Lancets. Okay, so we'll get those out and get a strip for the Contour. Get that out. And then go ahead and open up the strip for the Keto Mojo. And we're going to do the glucose one first. And then go ahead and get, if I can get that out. I usually have trouble with the ketone one, but this one is giving me a little bit of trouble too. All right, here we are. And while I'm doing this, what do you think my ketones are going to be, by the way? All right, so we'll see what the blood sugar is. And I'm going to go ahead and open this and just have it off to the side. Let's see, there we are. Have it off to the side. And then here is my Lancet. Let's go ahead and open that up and find a finger. And let's go ahead and get a poke. And boom. So that was a pretty brisk flow right there. So that was good. That's the Keto Mojo. Here is the Contour. And let's see what those are. And while I do that, I'm going to put this one back on the screen so you can see. So 71 for the Keto Mojo, 74 for the Contour. And then right there you'll see that the Freestyle Libre says that the blood sugar is 60. Let's go ahead and get this one out quickly and get the ketone strip in, because I don't want to have to poke myself again, and if it dries, then I'll have to do that. So let's go ahead and get this one started. Okay, and we'll see what that shows. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and the ketones are 0.6. Look at that, 0.6. So let's go over and let's see if we can get our Keto Mojo to run. Okay, there it is. And let's go ahead and sync that up. And so when we talk about ketones that, and I'm going to get this one off the screen. Ketones that are less than 0.5 are considered normal. 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and then above 1.5 considered therapeutic ketosis. So right now, I'm in the nutritional ketosis period. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do this, pull it over here, and we're looking at these three numbers, the 6.5, that big number in the circle, and then 71 is what the blood sugar is in the gray or brownish gray, and then ketones are 0.6, right? So once again, when ketones are less than 0.5 considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and then above that considered therapeutic ketosis. So I'm in that nutritional ketosis period. So when we're talking about ketones, if we're on a fasting mimicking diet, if we're fasting with the intention of getting ketones or going into ketosis, or we're on a ketogenic diet, we want ketones to be 0.5 or higher. And that GKI, which is that number in the middle, is a ratio of the glucose to ketones, right? So if I divide, we'll have to convert it first. So, well, why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's see. Let me grab my calculator. All right, here we are. So clear. All right, so here's my calculator. And so the blood sugar was 71 divided by 18, and that divided by what the ketones were, which were 0.6, and that should give us a 6.5 right there, and that in fact is the number that we got right here. Okay, so you first have to convert it to international units and then divide by the ketones, and that gives us what the GKI is, and that simply is a ratio. And so we want the GKI to be low, we want the ketones to be high, and we want the glucose to be high or low. Okay, that's low normal. This is where we want it to be. All right, so there we are, and then let's go ahead and take a look at what my Dexcom Clarity report is saying. So let's hop over there right now. And so my average for the last 14 days is 122. And so we usually tell people we want their average to be between 100 and 120. And so you'll see that right there. And my time in range is 99, with range being anywhere from 70 to 180. Okay. And we've had conversations about the range there before, because even though it says 70, 180, we don't want blood sugars to be 180. We want them to actually be 120 would be the highest, okay? Because if we're at 180, even though that says it's in range, then our A1C is much, much higher. We want an A1C between 6.5 and 7. We usually tell people to shoot for 6.5. And so my GMI, or glucose management indicator, which is a surrogate for the A1C, is a 6.2, okay, based on this average. If I look at this over the last 90 days and see, so my average blood sugar over the last 90 days is 117, with time in range 98, still the same range, 70 to 180, and then my GMI, glucose management indicator, there is a 6.1, okay? Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's been going on with blood sugars themselves over the course of the last little while. And so we'll start here. Actually, why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and we're going to start when we started fasting. So we started fasting right in here, about a little over 33 hours ago. And if you've not seen yet, go back and watch to see what I ate as my last meal, right? So watch what I ate my last meal. That video should be in the, or will be in, or is, it should be, it is in that this week's video playlist that I talked about earlier. And so here is what my blood sugar was at the time when I finished eating the last meal. And then let's go ahead and let's trace that over. So if we started right here, that's about 1 o'clock. And let's just go to 2 o'clock just to be, right, to get a full, that was the full time of finished eating. So at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, we were right there at 110 or 116. 1 hour later, we're at 124. 2 hours later, 118. 3 hours later, 117. 4 hours, 108. 5 hours, 109. 6 hours, we're at 104. 7 hours, we're down to 93. 8 hours, popped back up to 114. 9 hours, we're at 111. And then into midnight, 93 is where it was. Now coming into the next morning, and so now let's just go a full 12 hours. So 2 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So here we are, 101. Here's 13 hours, 101, 14 hours, 107, 15 hours, 103, 16 hours, 108, 17, 18 hours, 19 hours, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 hours later, we're at 104, right? So we started at 116, we're at 104, and then let's take a look at what's going on blood sugar now. So we're going down, so 101, 92, 98, 91, and so now we're coming into the afternoon, 86, 88, 91, and then down to where we are right now, and 84 is what the monitor said we were before it conked out. Okay? And so that's typically what we want to happen to blood sugars. As we're eating, we want those blood sugars to remain relatively stable. Now, they will spike, okay? So sometimes people will say to me, well, I haven't eaten and my blood sugar is still spiked up. Well, let's take a look at this one. Let's see. I see one here. So blood sugar is 108. Well, let's go back. Let's go right here. So here we are. We're at 12 hours, right? So we're at 12 hours of fasting, and my blood sugar was down at 70s, in the 70s, and then right about 12 hours later, or at 12 hours after fasting, it got up to 114, and that's without eating. That's 12 hours. So that's not uncommon because your body still has stores. Your body still has the ability to convert the fat that's in your body into sugar. So just because you didn't eat for 12 hours or 14 hours doesn't mean that your blood sugars are gonna drop. In fact, my blood sugars did not go below, and let's take a look at that again here. My blood sugars did not go below 100 until right at about, as we were getting to, and stay. It went below, but it didn't begin staying below 100 until we got to right at about 12 hours or 24 hours. And remember, that's when the glycogen in the body is pretty much depleted, 24 to 36 hours. Okay? All right. And now let's go ahead and let's say hello to some of our community members. I see you guys out there. Let's say hi to you. And I see Kenty. And so there we are. So Kenty said, I got a message. Kenty says Kentucky Fried Chicken. All right. All right. So smiley face. Gion says, hi, doctor. Hi, Kenty. Kenty, it's lunchtime. Gion is asking, hi, Gion. Hi, LLG. Kenty says 3:03 p.m. Had lunch 2 hours ago. Okay. All right. Gion says 4 hours ahead of me. It's 11 o'clock there. And are you 14 ahead of me? So I believe Gion is 12, 13, I believe 13 or 14 hours ahead of where I am. That, if I recall correctly. 9 p.m. Central, correct. Thanks, Kenty. I'm always, no. We are all here now. Okay. Kenty said, did my 24 hours this week. Congratulations. And a hand clap to you. Gion says, I am, oh man, so you guys aren't seeing this, huh? Let me go back here. Let's start back. Let's see. Hi, doctor. Hi, Kenty. Kenty says lunchtime. Kenty says, hi, Gion. Hi, LLG. And Kenty said, are you 14 hours ahead of me? And so we're between 12 and 14, I think, if I recall correctly. 9 p.m. Central, correct now. Thanks, Kenty. I'm always a little confused. She said, no. Kenty says, no, we're all here now. Did my 24 hours this week. Yeah, congratulations. Once again, let me give you that because we didn't put that up when we gave you the hand clap. And Gion says, I'm 45 hours. Wow, congratulations. Great job. 45 hours, you're going to 48. Gion says, I planned 48. 3 hours later, I will break my fast today. Okay, good. Thank you. Awesome. Nice job so far. 45 hours. And howdy, Jennifer. Jennifer says, howdy, all. Glad that you're here. Jennifer, thanks for coming through. Jennifer, Gian says, holiday starts tomorrow for 7 days, Friday to next Thursday is all holiday. Okay, so congratulations. Yeah, so you're going to have some holiday food. You got to send us pictures, Gian. Send us pictures to see what you got. Hello to Jennifer from Gian. Hi, Gian from Jennifer. And then we'll come back and look at some of these in a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's jump into our conversation for tonight. We're talking about finishing strong. We're talking about getting across the line, right? As we started talking about that on our show on Monday. So let's go ahead and let's hop over and let's continue that now. So here's the thing. Whether we're talking about business, talking about health, talking about relationships, motivation is always short-lived. What really carries us is the processes, are the processes that we've put in place. I want you to think of it like the runner on the track. And they don't have to negotiate with the road every lap. The track holds the plan. It is a pattern. In the same way, your process is your safety net. It's the net that keeps you moving when excitement fades, when motivation seems to go, when you seem to be in the middle, that messy middle, all right? The messy middle. So why does pressure fail? Right? We're talking about trusting the track. Talking about trusting fact. So why does pressure fail? Well, pressure is when you try to force yourself through a thing. Whether you're fasting, you're running, you're trying to follow a particular diet. You're trying to do it by sheer willpower. Sometimes you hear me say you're white knuckling it, right? So we're just holding on for dear life. And it sounds kind of like this. Okay, just hang on. Just hang in there. Don't think about food. Just push through. Just endure. Just keep going. You can do it. The problem with pressure is that it turns out not to be the best way because it burns hot, but it burns out. Now, when I am outside with my son and we're working out, and I mentioned on one of our shows earlier today that we were working out and he had increased the weights. He handed me some of the dumbbells and they were 5 pounds heavier than the ones I was using. And so I was like, man, this is heavy. We need to back down, less reps or less sets. And he's like, no, I added more weights, but you can do it. Right? So you can do it and push through. And often when we're in the gym and when we're working out there and we're pushing each other, we're like, push through. And that happens and it gives us that burst right then. Pressure creates that push in the moment. And we can do that for so long. Right? Get that one rep, get that one press, get that one pull, get that one, whatever it is. And right then, yeah. But over the long haul, it actually creates some fatigue because you're constantly asking yourself, am I strong enough? Am I able to endure? Am I able to do this? Am I going to be able to save the money? Am I going to be able to continue in the relationship? Am I going to continue able to fast? Am I going to be able to continue walking? Am I going to continue to be able to eat in this way? Right? We're talking about balanced bites. So pressure, when we are in our health space, pressure turns the health space into punishment. For instance, if you're fasting, as we do on our show, if you're fasting, it becomes a punishment. Oh, because we've not done well, we're going to pressure our way through. It feels like something you're surviving instead of something that you are building. It feels like, and I hear people say this, oh, I messed up last week, so I'm going to fast this week. Right? Notice, right? The bad thing resulted in the punishment, which is fasting. Or the bad thing results in, oh, I'm going to go on a diet this week. Or I can't have any more of that for the next month because I had some last week. So I want you to hear the words. And pressure can't scale. You can force yourself through one day, maybe 2 days, maybe even a week, but you can't build a lifestyle on white knuckling it. Psychologists even have a term for this. It's called ego depletion. When you're constantly forcing yourself to resist, your mental energy runs out. And that's why so many people start strong, but they don't finish. So pressure doesn't work. Pressure doesn't take us where we need to go because pressure is not the way to do it. That's because pressure fails. So if pressure won't carry you, what will carry you through the process? And so how does the process carry us, right? The process, how does that work? And that works because we are putting things in place that are able to be sustained. When we are in the process, the question is, can we sustain it? And that's where we're heading. We're not heading for the fast. We're not heading for the thing that is burning bright and then ends. We're looking for the long haul, okay? So how does process take us to where we need to go? Well, process is your track. Process is the track. It's the thing that we've put in place, and we've talked about rhythm, alignment, and structure. It's the thing that we put in place so that it sets you in a space so you don't have to argue with yourself every step of the way. Because it is automatic. You begin building a pattern. Think about it again, back to those runners. The runners don't negotiate with the track. They don't say, maybe I'll skip lap 3. Maybe I'll cut across the field. No, the track is set. There is an outline. All they have to do is run the laps. And in our health space, when we're doing balanced bites, when we're eating, when we're walking, when we're doing strength training, when we're fasting, your process may look like this. You know exactly when you start, right? You have a hydration pattern that you do. Water every hour, water, maybe I have electrolytes at midday. Whatever it is, you've put that in place. You have your evening wind down. Maybe journaling, prayer, walking, yoga, meditation. You know what your breaking meal is going to be because you have put it in place. It's balanced, it's simple, it's whole foods focused, balanced bites. It's already outlined. This removes the decisions. And here's the magic. When you remove the decision, you remove the resistance. Oh, come on. Remember that friction? The friction is going to be built in already because of the way we live, because of the way we've been going. And when we put that structure in place, that track, trusting the track, it's already in place. The resistance goes down. Our fasting process is in place. We have a schedule. That's why process works. It creates automaticity. You don't have to think about it. You just follow it. It builds neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself to expect this rhythm. We fast every Tuesday. We fast for 24 hours. We fast for 48 hours. We fast for 72 hours. We eat a certain type of food, right? We've got a pattern. This is what we eat when we start the fast. This is what we eat when we break the fast. And our brain begins to say, oh, I guess we do fast around here, right? Because that neuroplasticity is built in. It strengthens your identity. You go from I'm trying to fast to I'm a person who fasts. I no longer say, hey, I'm trying to fast on Monday, or I'm trying to fast on Tuesday, or I'm trying to fast for 48 hours. I fast for 72 hours. I am a person who does that. That's the power of trusting the track. When we trust the track, then we are able to do what we need to do because it takes a lot of that fatigue out of our mind. That's how the process carries you. And there is some science behind this. This is not just mumbo jumbo. So let's talk about that. What's actually happening in your body? What's going on? What's the science behind it? And particularly when we're talking about our fasting, we're talking about our strength training, we're talking about eating well, there are hormonal changes that are going on in the body. Let's start with fasting. When we fast, there are significant things going on with our insulin. Our insulin level is becoming lower. We're getting more insulin sensitive. That itself leads to decreased appetite, leads to weight loss, leads to regulation of our hunger and satiety hormones. And the more we do it, the better that process becomes. And so we become metabolically flexible. So our body's easily able to go into those spaces now. When you first start, it takes you a while to get there. But once you do it over and over and over, it becomes a pattern. And ketosis in your body helps to support that. Because when ketones come up, the ketones help to suppress appetite. When you're doing strength training, when you first start those first reps, oh yeah, those are hard, those are tough to do. And you push through your time over tension, that burning that you feel, and you say, oh no, I'm going through this, I can do this. And after a while, it becomes a pattern. Your body learns not just to switch fuel when you're fasting, but now it learns to recruit muscles. The transition may feel uncomfortable at first, but it picks up. And neuroplasticity is going on. So neuroplasticity is the process where your body is building new connections, new neuronal connections. And all of a sudden, you find yourself with muscle memory. So there's science there that says if we build that pattern, if we are consistent, if we keep doing one step at a time, then our body readjusts now to help us because it now believes us. Our brain believes us and our body now believes us. Now here's why that matters. If you don't know the science, you think I'm failing. It feels weird. But when you understand what's going on in your body, and you understand that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, this is why process beats pressure. Pressure says, I feel bad, I should quit. Process says, no, this is lap number 8. This is lap number 3. This is what this lap feels like. Keep running. Keep going. Keep pushing through. So the next time you feel off in the middle of the fast, instead of panicking, label it. This is the switch. This is my body learning. The next time you feel that burn, right? When you're lifting, when you're doing the strength training, the body shaping, the body contouring, say to yourself, yeah, this is uncomfortable right now, but this is my body going through what it needs to do to get stronger. That one reframe. When you're, and I'm going to, we're talking about health, but you can put this into so many different areas. When you are trying to save and you're like, oh man, I really want that thing, but I can't buy it, or you feel like you're being deprived, think to yourself, I am making a change right now so that later on I have the money that I need to do some other things. You're in a relationship. I'm making a sacrifice right now for the betterment of the relationship. You've got to reframe it. That one reframe can give you such power that it takes you a long way down the road. And when we do that, right, when we reframe it, when we think about the science, there is identity that's being built. Identity that's being built through the laps. So let's zoom out for a minute. Every lap you run, every dollar you save, every glass of water you drink, every rep you do, every workout you finish, you are building and creating new identity. It's not just about that particular result. It's about the identity of who you are. You are now a person that does that thing. You're no longer trying to drink water. I drink water. I'm no longer trying to journal. I'm a journaler. I'm no longer trying to work out. I'm someone who works out. I'm no longer trying to take care of my health. I am someone who takes care of my health. Repetition builds who you are, one lap at a time. One lap at a time. 1 lap says I tried. 10 laps says I'm consistent. 100 laps says this is who I am. James Clear says, every action is a vote for the person that you want to become. That's the secret. It's not about one giant leap. It's about casting votes every single time. One vote after another, lap after lap after lap, until there's no question left. And here's the good news. You don't need perfection. You just need a majority vote. Come on now. If most of your choices say I'm a person who does that, I'm a person who's in charge of my health, I'm a person who eats well, I'm a person who works out, I'm a person who saves, I'm a person who takes care of my relationship, I'm a person who rests, I'm a person who finishes, I'm a person who trusts the track, that identity sticks because neuroplasticity says that's what we do. Right now, I want you to say this. I am a finisher because I finish my laps. I'm a finisher because I finish my laps. I'm a finisher because I finish my laps. Record it, tape it, write it out, put it on the wall. Tape it to your mirror. Listen to it while you sleep. Put it on your fridge. Put it in your journal. That's a reminder that turns your process into identity. You are a person who does that. We're no longer trying to do that. This is now who we are. And all the things that we do, when that identity is created, it has profound effects. Not just here, but it has profound effects in lots of different areas. We talk about the domains of health. The domains of health. physical, mental, emotional, social, psychological, right? Relational, spiritual, all of those. And sometimes when we talk about them as though they are individual pieces. We talk about health and the things that we do for our health as though it's over there and it has no effect on anything else. We talk about the discipline of saving and as though it's over here and has no effect on anything else. But there are ripple effects. And here's the part that we don't talk about enough. The fact that when I am able to complete, when I'm able to finish, when I'm able to trust the track over here, it ripples along every other area of my life. Because when I trust the process builds a new identity, and that new identity is trustworthy. You don't just make a change in that area. You transform fundamentally who you are. So lots of different ripples. When we take care of our health, there's a metabolic ripple. When we've talked about dysfunctional metabolism, insulin being the underlying underpinnings of that process. When we take care of our health, when we do the things that we need to do, when we follow the health action plan, your insulin sensitivity improves. Your body switches fuel sources when you fast. You begin fueling your body with balanced bites, the things that you need to make it healthy. Each fast becomes smoother because your body learns the track. The body trusts the track. Your appetite begins to subside. Your appetite begins not to have all those cravings. You begin to switch in terms of the things that you want. Your thought process about food becomes ordered. It's no longer shotgun. Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen because I always have these cravings. And when I get these cravings, I always end up eating. When I always end up eating, my blood sugar skyrockets, my weight goes up. There's no longer that shotgun approach because now, because of the metabolic ripple, we are able to manage this better. The body learns the track. We begin trusting it. There's an emotional ripple. You stop living in guilt and shame. Man, I was going to do that. I was going to take care of my health. But every time I say I'm going to do that, I end up eating the ice cream, cookies, candies, and cake. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Oh, I'm such a bad person. I failed again. Instead of that process, you begin to say, I trust the process. I trust myself. I am someone who finishes my fast. I am someone who makes a decision about what I'm going to eat, and I stick to it. And when we trust ourselves, when we get out of the guilt and shame, the emotional power, the mental power, the inner fortitude that comes as a result of us trusting the track, trusting the process, and completing the process skyrockets. We're talking about rippling. And there is a legacy ripple. I love this one. My son doesn't just see me fasting. He doesn't just see me walking. He doesn't just see me lifting. He sees what it means to live in alignment with my rhythm. He sees what it means to have structure. He sees the power of sticking to the track, the power of trusting the track, the power of change. The people around me. My wife sees me sticking to something I say I was going to do. My wife sees the physical changes in me, sees the biochemical changes in me, sees the emotional changes in me. And that ripple effect can be more powerful than you even realize. So what are some things that we can do? What are some tools that we can begin employing? Now, number one, and we've been talking about some of them as we've been going through. Number one, it is saying out loud who we are. I am not trying to fast. I'm not trying to save. I'm not trying to be a whatever. That is who I am. Number one. Whatever it is, say it out loud right now. I am someone who fasts. I am someone who eats in a way that's consistent with my health. I am someone who gets rest. I'm someone who works out. I'm someone who walks. I'm someone who moves. Identity. Number two, you want, if you are not doing yet, you want to begin journaling. And the journal that if you don't keep any other journal, the I Can journal. I can walk for 100 days. I can fast for 24 hours. I can save $100. I can abstain from whatever it is. I can eat balanced bites. So one, identity. Number two, begin journaling. Journaling is your proof. It is your receipt. It says that this is what I've done in the past. It's incredible, the ability of journaling. You get to look back and see that. And here's the statement that I want you to begin saying in your head. So you have identified who you are. You're journaling. And you're going to say, when I blank, whatever behavior, I believe blank about myself. When I fast, I believe that I am taking charge of my health. When I save money, I believe I am setting myself up for future success. When I get rest, I believe that I am doing what I need to do to get restoration and recovery. Right? Notice, when I blank, I believe. That belief that you're putting in right there, that belief now feeds into identity. Because now we can take that and we can put it into our I Can journal. It is neuroplasticity all over. It begins to build. It begins to coalesce. And it has a momentum that is unbelievable. So how clear is that? Trusting the track. It's not about hype. It's about alignment. The things I do, are they aligned with the rhythm of my life, where I say I want to go? It's about a track that can carry you when your emotions don't want to. To begin walking through that process. If you're listening later, pause this. Get your family together. Say, let's do this together. Because this single thing can be the difference between quitting and crossing the finish line. So here's your takeaway. Pressure fades, but processes remain. Motivation spikes, but alignment and rhythm sustain. Every time you trust the process, you're building proof, you're building identity, and you're building momentum. And one day, just like a runner who suddenly realizes they've crossed lap after lap, and finally they cross the finish line, you'll look back and see how far the track has carried you. The work is ordinary, but the results are extraordinary, because the finish always belongs to those who stay on the track. If you're going to finish, you got to be on the track. Pressure will burn out, but processes carry you. And trusting the track is what you want to do if you're going to be successful. Not if, when you're going to be successful. We trust the track. And we finish strong, and we cross the finish line. So I know there are a lot of you that are out there that are fasting, a lot of you who are with us in our Move campaign, a lot of you who are out there who are eating well, eating balanced bites. And so my encouragement to you is wherever you find yourself, that's where you start. Don't think about what you've done in the past, how things didn't work in the past, or how, tough it's going to be. I want you right now to take the first step. Begin trusting the track. If you've not been watching our Move campaign, we are on episode 3. Episode 4 is coming out tomorrow morning, and we are talking in that, right? One of the things I say in that process is this idea that the first step is important. We talk about finishing often. We talk about getting, and right now we're talking about getting across that line. But in order to finish, you got to take that first step. And right now, right here, you get to do that as we go across that line. The track removes the decision fatigue. The track builds momentum. The track rewires your brain and strengthens your identity. At 33 hours, which is where we are, into the fast, this is what matters. Not hype, not willpower, but trusting the process and trusting yourself. Trusting the track means that you're trusting you. Don't obsess over the finish line. Just run the lap. One at a time. Drink the water, take the walk, go to bed, right? Trust the track. Because one day you look back and you'll say, just like I did after medical school. And we shared that story with you guys. Just like I did after medical school. After residency, and I was driving away as we were heading to Memphis to start fellowship. I felt this relief that just came over me. It wasn't pressure that got me there. It was trusting the process. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead, and I do see some of our community members. Let's see what's been going on. Let's see. We were talking about. Oh, let me get back over here. And so Kenty says, do better than last time. Checking with doctor and us. So I think I missed something. Let's go back up here. So we were talking about holidays, and Kenji said do better. Gian was guessing 0.8. Kenty said 0.35. Is that what you're guessing for my ketones, Kenty? Okay. Kenty says, haha, gotta get rid of those negative thoughts. Correct. Let's do a little better each holiday period. I hope so. Thank you, Kenty. Gotta occupy yourself with something and remove triggers from your environment. So very, very good point there, Kenty. We will walk through fasting. We're preparing for the fast, getting through the fast, and breaking the fast on Fridays. Make sure you come, because one of the important things is what Kenty just pointed out there, is as we're going through the fast, in fact, as we're going through any change that we're trying to make, making sure that our environment is conducive for that change is very important. Otherwise, there are all these triggers that are there. And we've talked about, the HEAT model, habits, emotions, access, and taste. Now, the interesting thing about HEAT model, we've talked about it as triggers for food, but the same triggers are present for other things that we do. So it transcends just the behavior that goes around food. Now, food is a prominent one, but it transcends other things too. So there are other things that push our buttons that make us do other things. So, all right, so let's get back over here. But thank you for putting that through there. And Gianna is saying, great tip for me, Kenti. Thanks. Okay. Do one thing at a time. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you for the encouragement. Kenti said, yay, LLG. Gianna says, question, doctor, what is your daily meal looks like except fasting day? So my meals, I try to do one meal a day. That's what I was doing. Now I do maybe two. I do a small meal, and it's usually starting with a salad, just like we do when we're doing the fasting and we're doing the breaking the fast. It starts with a salad, some kind of protein. There are many days during my eating window that I eat protein. Like when I do jerk chicken, which I do, I'll go and I'll eat 2 pieces of jerk chicken and maybe a piece of cheese. That's it. All right. When I'm at the office, I'll go down to the cafeteria and I'll have a salad, and with a bit of I don't know, chicken or whatever they have down there. So my eating window is pretty much consistent. Well, not pretty much. My eating window is consistent with balanced bites. Now, here's the thing, and sometimes I think people get confused with this idea of balanced bites. They think that the only thing that you can eat are the things that are 100% consistent with balanced bites. Now, notice the very first thing that balanced bite says is whole foods first. Notice what it says, whole foods first, meaning that after you eat whole foods, you can eat something else. I don't know if you guys caught that or have caught it in the past. But Balanced Bites is not a diet plan. It's not a list of foods that you can eat and can't eat. It is a way of thinking about food. And the more you use Balanced Bites in your thought process about food, the more it becomes a normal pattern. Just like we're talking about in terms of trusting the track, it becomes built into you. Are you still going to have some cravings? Yes. And we have cravings typically when we have those triggers. Heat, habits, emotions, access, and taste. A very good question. Very good question there, Gian. Let's see. Let's get back here. Trust myself is the most difficult. Yes, it can be. It can be. Kenti, 45 hours is no small achievement. That is true. So kudos to you, Gian. Good luck to you. Awesome. Just hit 4 p.m. Gian says, just hit 12 p.m. Ketones 0.6. That's right. They were higher than you thought. Okay. And then in 1 hour, as I'm doing 20 and 4. Awesome. Very good. All right. Well, so y'all, the big thing that we talk about and the big thing that I want you to get is as you are in your health space and as you're listening to the shows, we talk in 3 things: education, empowerment, and encouragement. Education for changing our mindset, for understanding how our body works, for understanding the process. In order for us to trust the process, we've got to understand the process. All that comes with the show, the podcast, the blogs. The empowerment comes with the tools that we're using. The fasting is a tool. The Move campaign is a tool. Balanced Bites is a tool. All of the tools that we have are with the intention of allowing you to put to practice the things that we're learning. The Health Action Plan. And one thing I always want to point out about the Health Action Plan is that the word action is in there deliberately, because it's a health plan, but there's no power in it if it doesn't get infused with your behavior. The concepts we learn under education only come to life with your behavior. So we educate, we empower, and we encourage with this incredible community that you are part of, that we are building. We want to make sure that you are enhancing the community. So when you come, share your story, the challenges you have, and the successes. We're going to make sure that you're getting benefit from the community. So when you come, share where you are, your challenges and your successes, because that enriches the community, allows the community to come alongside and support you as you're moving through the path. And when you get benefit, when you see successes, when you see changes, when you see results, don't keep that to yourself, because Limitless Living says that we are improving, we're enhancing, we're supporting, we're building up the community all around us. So we educate, we empower, and we encourage. We will be back as we continue this week. We are on the cusp of our series, Blueprints, which will start on Monday as we kick that off, Dwain Woode, MD, live on our show. We will do our check-in, our pop-up tomorrow at right around 1:30 as we continue at 48 hours. Tomorrow night, we'll have our check-in at 56 hours of fasting. And then on Friday, we'll do our complete review, how to prepare for the fast, how to get through the fast successfully, and then how to break the fast. We will have video from the vault Saturday night at 9 p.m. Central. This Week in Review Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Central. And then we'll be right back here for Dwain Woode, MD, live, y'all, as we talk about blueprints for our lives. How do we kick that off? And make sure that you are joining us for our Move campaign in the morning as we continue the process of building up this incredible mechanism, this incredible process that we have in our lives. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at that promo. But this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Here's the promo for Move. Here we go. Bye-bye. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started.